And that includes, by the way, leaders of foreign countries that aren't our friends, okay? That's a big statement. They really are bad news. But here we are, and this is really amazing. The governor tried to stop us. He couldn't. But think of this. He's in control of millions of votes. Here's a guy calling venues, telling them not to have the rally, calling different venues, don't have the rally. We're not going to let you have the rally. And he's calling this governor, who is a political hack. He was a political hack, and then he became governor. And this is the guy that we're entrusting with millions of ballots, unsolicited ballots, millions and millions. And then we're supposed to win these states. And we have a guy that would do that where he won't let us have it. We call it a protest, and therefore we can do it. But you want to know something? It's a disgrace. So who the hell is going to trust? You know, they say, trust government. Well, how would you trust a guy that fought that we aren't here, that we can't have all these thousands of people? Boy, you are really back far. That's, look at that. No, but seriously. And now he's in charge of the election and the millions of ballots. So if I'm up like millions of votes, he can rig the election. He can rig the election. And I'll tell you what, whether it's in North Carolina, whether it's in Michigan, whether it's in other states where they're going to be sending out 80 million ballots, and it's Democrats. They're trying to rig this election. At every single place in the last year and a half, go modern day, forget about tiny amounts, a congressional race in New York, a small number of votes. If you go to New Jersey, if you go to Virginia, if you go to Pennsylvania, if you go to California, look at some of these races. Every one of these races was a fraud, missing ballots, and I don't mean like 1%, I mean like 20%, 25%. They're trying to rig the election. They should make people, if you register, if you want a solicited ballot, that's where you ask for it. You have to sign papers. You get it because you can't be there. That's one thing. When they send 80 million ballots to people, they have no idea where they're going. Actually, they probably do have a good idea where they're going. And that's our problem. They send 80 million ballots out. Where are they going? Who are they sending them to? Are they sending them to certain areas and not other areas? Are they sending them to Democrat areas? These are all controlled by Democrat governors, like your politically motivated governor. So just to finish on that, look, just to finish on that, he's a guy that tried to silence us by not having this, and it ended up, our crowd turned out to be a lot bigger than NBC, which is owned by Comcast. C-O-N, Comcast. C-O-N-C-A-S-T, Comcast. It's really Comcast, but I call it Con because it's a whole con. I'll tell you what, you know, they talked in the old days, I think it should still be, news when they broadcast had to be reasonably accurate, right? And they had licensing. Today they can do whatever the hell they want. It's fake news and it's a disgrace. And you know what, back there, and I'll tell you, it's hurting our country. It's hurting our country. They're the biggest problem that this country has is the fake news media. Worse than the Democrats, because, you know, the Democrats and their partners, they play together. Joe Biden spent the last 47 years selling out America, offshoring your jobs, throwing open your borders, depleting our military, and sacrificing your children's future in China. I've spent the last 4 years bringing our jobs back to America, securing our borders, rebuilding our military, and standing up to China like never before. Nobody has ever stood up to China like we have stood up to China.
God bless you.
And you haven't seen the last of it.
Sleepy
Joe Biden surrendered. You know where he is now? He's in his damn basement again. No, he's in his basement. He's in his basement. But, you know, I can be bad to him because he put the most vicious ad on television that I've ever seen. Do you know what I'm talking about? where I'm standing over the graves of our fallen warriors, our fallen heroes. These are great people, the greatest people there are. And I'm standing over there, and they have some sleazebag reporter from a third-rate magazine having some source quoting me, saying, I won't even use the term, but saying bad things. And there's nobody that loves our military, respects it, and the people more than me. And they took... And I didn't even ask. We had 25 people that were witnesses that are on the record already that have said that never took place. It never took place what they said. And yet, pathetic Joe, and he's a pathetic human being to allow that to happen. Here's the problem. He doesn't even know it happened. I think he has no idea. But he's a pathetic human being to let that happen, where they put an ad like that, where I'm standing over graves, and then they said, he said this, with no sources, no nothing. They got nothing. And I have 25 real witnesses with the names, with everything, saying it never happened. And they put an ad like that up. They're a disgrace. But you know the good part? Now I can be really vicious. I can be really vicious.
Do it.
And we'll start by saying, we're going to start by saying
Arrest Joe
that
Biden.
the Democrats are trying to rig this election because it's the only way they're going to win. The only way they're going to win is to rig it. Biden surrendered your jobs to China. Look, his son walked away with $1.5 billion. Give me a break. Don't do it, Dad, please. You know how much experience he had? There's a young man here. He's a very young man, handsome young guy. He's about like 12. You know what? He's got more experience than Hunter. Hunter. Where's Hunter? Where is he? With no experience, no knowledge of energy, no job, got thrown out of the military. You don't get thrown out, by the way. I used to be nice about that. Now I don't. Once I saw that ad, I don't have to be nice anymore. Okay, I really mean it. You know, and by the way, in that ad, I know some horrible people, horrible human beings, some of the worst people in the world. I really do. They're horrible. None of those people, and they're the worst, real estate developers in New York. You don't get much worse than that. I know some of the worst people in the world. Not one person do I know that would say that standing on top of graves of heroes, really. Not one person. So I will tell you this. So now we can play it like it is. Let's face it. Joe is shot. Let's face it, okay? He's shot. So not that he has anything to do, because he won't know what's happening. He'll just be locked up in a room someplace, and the radical left is going to be running our country. Yeah. Thank you. But now he wants to surrender our country to the violent left-wing mob. You know that. If Biden wins, China wins. If Biden wins, the mob wins. You see what's going on with all these Democratic, or I always say Democrat-run cities and states? It's a disaster. It's a disaster. And we keep saying, let us bring in the troops. Well, we did in Minneapolis. We ended it in 45 minutes. It was ended. They went through 2 weeks. By the way, we could do it in Portland in half an hour. It would all be over. But we have these stupid people that think, how about that poor mayor? Is that pathetic, Wheeler? Is that pathetic? They forced him out of his home. He's now finding a new home. It's so nice. It's pathetic. Honestly, it's pathetic. We could solve that problem in half an hour, just like we did. And by the way, the U.S. Marshals did a great job in Portland. They did a great job. You know what I mean. If Biden wins, the rioters win, the anarchists win, arsonists, flag burners, they all win. I'm running for re-election to bring prosperity to Nevada, to the whole country. I've been here a long time. I have some things in Nevada that are very good. To put violent criminals behind bars and to ensure the future belongs to America, not to China. I do get a kick out of watching a guy, I'm going to do this. You know, he copied my whole plan. You see, he says, buy America. I said, where the hell have you been for the last half century? Thank you. fake news to take your cameras and show all the way back there for hundreds of yards. All the way back there. Take your cameras. Go as far as the eye can see. No, tell NBC News it's not 1,000 people. You can't see it. You can't see it down here. You won't believe how many people. That thing goes back. So the bottom line is, when we win, America wins. That's what's happening. And nobody's done to China what I did. Look, billions, tens of billions of dollars of tariffs we took in. I gave $28 billion to farmers. The farmers are doing very well. They're doing very well. Thank you, President Trump. 28 billion. 16 billion 1 year, 12 billion, they were targeted. I said, how much is it? Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture, great guy. I said, how much were they hurt by? Sir, 12 billion 2 years ago and 16 billion last year. I said, all right, good, we'll take it out of China. We gave them 28 billion to the farmers. That never happened before. You think Joe Biden would even think about it? He wouldn't even think about it. He wouldn't even think about it. No, he's more worried about, does he have a teleprompter to answer a reporter's question? You know, the worst part about that isn't the fact that he's doing that, because let's face it, he's unable, okay? It's not that. It's that the fake news would give him the questions. They never gave me the questions. Did you ever give me questions back there? Did you ever give me questions? They don't give me questions. The fake news would give him questions. But of course now Donna Brazile works for Fox, so that's gone a long way. Remember when Donna Brazile gave Crooked Hillary the questions right to a debate? And then she said, well, I don't think I did it. I don't remember. I knew she was in trouble when she said, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember. She didn't remember. Oh, okay. Well, as long as you don't remember. It's true. It's true, too. It's true. You know what? I used to stand back and I'd say, you know, be quiet, please. Don't say that. It's really not nice. You know, it's true. She deleted 33. Think of it. They'll never find the emails because they were acid washed, deleted. But you know what? She got a subpoena from the United States Congress, right? And she and her lawyer deleted 33,000 emails after she got a United States subpoena. And you say, why isn't she guilty of a major crime, right? And then she took her telephones and she smashed them with a hammer, right? And then she took the other ones and she deleted them. And now the Mueller scam, these people.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
I have a friend, a very smart guy, very streetwise guy. He said, you have to be the most honest guy in the world to go through 3 years of investigations where they have the worst human beings in the world. They worked for the Democrats. They
can't believe you're saying
Mueller
this.
didn't have a clue. This guy was totally... But look at this, Weissman. How bad was Weissman? He deleted his phone. That's illegal. He deleted everything. They all deleted. And they all said, oh, gee, we made a mistake. We're sorry. They all used the same mistake. They all made, oh, gee, we didn't mean to do that. Every one of them, all of them, I think it was 31 different phones. They've got to, there has to be a repercussion. There has to be a repercussion. We're dealing with criminals. So I don't care if you say it anymore, because you know what? She illegally deleted, and her lawyer should go to jail with her, okay?
Wow.
And the fact is, the Republican Party doesn't play it rough and tough like those people. They don't play it the same way. They're too nice. And you know, we have better policy, thank goodness. We have better, we believe in borders. We believe in no sanctuary cities. We believe in lowering taxes. We have better, but our people don't. We have some that are very good. Jim Jordan, good, right? Jim Jordan. Mark Meadows, good, right? No, we have some very good. But I'll tell you what, we play it so nice, and in the end, it's not right. Because what they get away with, and Obama and Biden got caught spying on our campaign, using the intelligence, I put that in quotes, using intelligence to spy on our campaign, and they got caught. They got caught. And you know, if it was me that got caught, forget about it. But they got caught. And somebody said, well, I know, but he was president. Oh, great. I'm president, too. And a hell of a lot better president than he is, I can tell you that.
Yep.
You know, Obama came into office. They gave him the Nobel Prize like almost immediately, right? In fact, he didn't even know why he got it. He didn't even know. He had no idea why he got it, and he was right about that because nobody else does either. They still don't know. But we've done a lot of things. So we were nominated a few days ago for a Nobel Prize, which is a big thing, Nobel Peace Prize. And then yesterday, we were nominated a second time for another Nobel Prize. Now, that's a big thing. To me, you know, it's a big thing, even though obviously it's a very political thing, but it's a very big thing, the Nobel Peace Prize, right? It was just reported, I'm just reporting this, I got 0 time on the nightly news, on the network news. Zero. We got 0 time. Think of it. The president of your country is honored by being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And your nightly news, ABC, which is terrible, CBS, which is terrible, and probably the worst of all, owned by Comcast. They spend a fortune, you know, on PR. And then every time I get up, I call them Comcast and to sort of wipe out their fortune. But they are bad people. But NBC is the worst of them all. Not one mention. These people are corrupt. Not one mention. Not one mention. So your president gets a Nobel and at least a nomination, and they don't mention it. Joe Biden cannot lead our country because he doesn't really believe in our country. Right now, I don't think he believes in anything. He just wants to go to sleep. That's all. Please, darling, I want to go to bed. I'm exhausted. I made one speech yesterday. But, darling, they gave you the answers and the questions. I know, but that was a big strain because my eyes, I couldn't see the teleprompter. This guy is the worst. I am running, and you know, it's going to maybe come back to haunt me because we have a rigged election. It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose. But I'll tell you what, he is the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics. He doesn't know he's alive. He doesn't know he's alive. And I've gotten to know President Xi of China very well. President Putin of Russia, Kim Jong-un. By the way, what happened to the war? I thought we was going to war with Kim Jong-un. Where's the war? Where's the war? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. It never happened, did it? Never happened,
nope.
Did it? Well, maybe someday. Could happen. No, remember, Trump is going to be, you know, my personality, right? Trump is going to be at war within the first week after he wins. Where's the war? In fact, the Peace Prize was because they stayed out of wars. And by the way, ended certain wars that could have happened that you don't even know about. And look what we did. Look what we did just yesterday in Europe. And look what we did with Israel. And you just saw that with United Arab Emirates, Bahrain. For 72 years, nothing happened, and we did it. We do it very fast.
Yep.
And plenty of other countries are going to be coming in. At Biden's convention, they decried it. You're a hell of a crowd, I'll tell you.
$1928, 72 years. Wow. $1928, 72 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, after this is over, you'll have like at NBC, this third-rate reporter stand up. They had a small crowd, insignificant crowd in a great location. You know how great it was? We landed, we had to drive for 50 minutes. That's how great, but I like it anyway. I'll take it anyway. I like it. You're my kind of people. We love each other. I like it. landed the big, beautiful Air Force One. I just asked as we're coming in, why couldn't we have landed here? I would have rather. You know, then I could have had the plane right behind me. Instead, we have the Beast. See the Beast. What you don't know is the Beast costs almost as much as the plane.
The Beast
It's a hell of a
Cadillac,
car.
Dave.
It's a walking army tank. The Beast. So, but we could have. I said, why don't we just land here? And we couldn't. So I get off the plane. Oh, good. How long will it be? About 50 minutes. That's a long drive. And driving here, there were tens of thousands of people on the streets with flags. And then you read these fake reporters and they say, President Trump is tied in Nevada. Tied. I don't think so. The only way we're tied is if they screw around with the ballots, which they will do in my opinion, okay? We're not tied anywhere. I asked some people that traveled with Obama. I said, was it the same thing? They say, not even a tiny fraction of what you have. There's not even a fraction. We have more enthusiasm. We have more spirit than any campaign that anybody's ever seen. It's true.